I think that that's absolutely right. One of my main complaints against religion that people say is benign religion. It's not benign. If they would get out there and say something against the people that are making these, like the Harold Camping, where were the people out there running their $100 million billboard campaign saying, this guy's a nut, don't listen to him? And it wasn't out there. So if religion won't police its own, then we need to call them out on that. By the same token, I agree with what we're doing today. We as atheists need to do what we ask the religions to do.
If we ask people to police their own, we must do the same thing. Now, what is this clip?
Well, we are talking about another atheist group, and that when they say something stupid and hurtful and bigoted, we got to call it out just as well. We'd be hypocrites if we didn't. So let's talk about this show. This is the Black Atheist of Atlanta. They have a public access show like we used to be on public access, and like how the atheist experience is on public access.
Yeah.
So these are folks who are in the same branch of the atheist visibility movement as we are, sort of like the Billboard campaign. And this is one of the reasons we started the show, to sort of branch out, that we wanted more atheist shows on the radio and on television. So this is a show that's been on for about 4 months or so. And I've seen the first few episodes on YouTube and on the internet, and it's a very good show.
Yeah, we've been pretty happy with it so far.
It's a very smart show. It's conversational. It's lively. It's the one thing that you always try to avoid is to be boring, and these people are not boring. This is a great show, and I'm like, this is a potentially a really great, I guess you could say, subsection of the atheist visibility movement. Gus getting out there, and it feels kind of like there's some movement on that. But here we go.
Well, the one positive thing we can say about this clip is it isn't boring.
Yeah, one of their hosts last month, a guy named Blackson Bau, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, he went off on an incredibly stupid tirade, and I think this is the sort of thing we really have to let speak for itself.
All right, so here we go. We're break this up into 3 parts. Just let me know if you guys, just break in if you have anything you need to say. And here we go.
Me, myself, hold on, Katie. Me being born an atheist, I look at homosexuality as violating the law of reproduction, and that's science. That has nothing to do with religion. So I think as far as creating life, I know that every human being on this planet came from a man and a woman. And if you look at every mammal, they actually follow the law of reproduction also. So me personally, as an atheist, born an atheist, being the king of all the black atheists, as far as I'm concerned, I'm saying that homosexuality is anti-life. So really, that is really your personal business. As far as being tolerant, I don't think you should go out and beat homosexual people up and beat them over the head with a baseball bat. But as far as like me knowing your personal business in your bedroom, keep that to yourself. Because I keep my personal business to myself. So I think.
Yeah, this is just nuts. One of all, we want to separate this host from the rest of the show, and the thing that just blows my mind is there is a lesbian host on this show, so he travels in a social circle that should include somebody who should take him to task for this, to grab him aside and say, you know what, you're saying something really stupid. This is the wonderful thing about social pressure, is that eventually, if you hear enough of that stuff, you're not going to say it simply because you just don't want the headache.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. And first of all, there is no law of reproduction, no more than there's a law of attraction.
No, it's all this natural is better stuff that we've been talking about, or that we've been hearing about for years. And if natural is better, I should be cold and wet and dead. Because I'm in my 30s, and we originally didn't live that long, and we live in the Pacific Northwest, so it's rainy and wet all the time, so I'm not allowed heat.
I should have died of an abscessed tooth. People should not have pacemakers, should not be put on life support. This whole natural thing, what is it that, this is the same thing James Randi said whenever natural is used as just a word for good.
But even if his natural argument, even if you want to give that to him, which I'm not saying we should, then you also have the argument of he's got his facts wrong.
Yeah.
We have demonstrated in over 409 species that there are homosexual, lesbian tendencies in those species. So he doesn't even have his facts right. He's using a bogus argument with bogus facts.
That's true.
Yeah, the idea of the personal business question, too, is another one that's brought up. And this is something I hear a lot of bigoted people say, that automatically, inherently, a gay relationship is built on sort of illicit sex, as opposed to the same, we wouldn't make that sort of assumption about a heterosexual relationship.
Right.
They automatically assume it's about sex. This is like, there was a right-wing commentator who recently made a lot of noise about somebody trying to force eHarmony, the dating website, to accept basically applications from people who are gay. And she was like, oh, well, that'll just lead to people having these sort of illicit hookups. And so they're not having hookups now. Those people are having, honest, loving relationships, but it's only the gay people who have illicit sex. And I see that same double standard coming from Blackson Bau here.
Absolutely. And that was Michelle Malkin, correct?
That was Michelle Malkin.
Yeah. And so the thing is the whole reason, under normal circumstances, keep your sexual practices to yourself. And that's fine. However, this is a group of people who are being discriminated against because of their sexual practices. So their sexual practices, unfortunately, are now a subject of discussion.
And nobody's saying, ooh, keep it in your pants if you mention that you're married to somebody of the opposite gender, or you have kids, or you mention that you're getting married, or you're in love, or you have a date. There isn't this automatic assumption that we're talking about illicit sex.
Yeah.
This is bigotry.
It straight up is. You're right.
And
something that gets me is his definition of tolerance is I'm not going to hit him over the head with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
That's his definition. Let's take that, and I am from the South. I am not a racist. I was raised in the most racist county in America, I firmly believe. So let's take his definition of tolerance and see if he likes that as being, as he calls himself, a black atheist. Let's say, okay, keep it to yourself. So hide your race from us. We don't want to see that. How racist, how bigoted would I sound if I say that? How about if I say, okay, because you're black, you can't get married?
Yeah.
How about if I say, because you're black, people can discriminate against you? We're not going to beat you up with a baseball bat.
We just won't let you sit in the front of the bus, so we won't let you sit at the lunch counter.
Exactly. I mean, in his whole comment, his whole process here, he throws Dr. Martin Luther King under the bus that Rosa Parks is on the back of. I mean, he absolutely takes racial relations way back before Martin Luther King days in some of the comments that he makes.
Absolutely. And I still want to take this back to the atheism thing. This is something that a lot of people accuse atheism of doing, which is because we have no standard of morality handed down from on high, we must therefore go to nature to come up with our morality. And if it happens in nature, it must be moral. That's crap.
Yeah.
Nature, by definition, is amoral. Morality is our invention.